Sup, dude?
Howdy doody, there.
It's been a minute.
It has. It's been
like a week.
2 week minutes.
Yeah. Since the incident. Never again.
Which we do not speak of.
Yeah. We lost some video because I needed to clear some hard drive space, and I assumed that the videos that I had rendered had all rendered properly, but they hadn't. Premiere fucked up and rendered a video without any video on it.
So now we have
two
4 terabyte hard drives.
Yeah.
And it will never happen again.
I was also looking at some upgrades to our audio equipment.
Yeah, that would be cool. We'll have to do some
Basically, we need to get
research.
you an actual microphone with an actual analog input and stuff that can operate off of phantom power instead of fucking USB power. We need to just both have the same microphone, and they need to both be really solid, Shure microphones or something. And then we need to figure out basically what I want to do is I want to replace my mic and my XLR cable, because fuck it, I don't feel like spending the time it would take to figure out which one of them is the problem when that buzzing thing happens, you know?
Yeah, you've already replaced the cable once, right?
Yeah. But for
that's just kind of how XLR is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what it seems like to me.
I don't think it is supposed to be like that. I think you're supposed to be able to plug in an XLR cable and have it be taut enough that you can move the mic around without weird electronic buzzing happening constantly. It's
really interesting to me how bad a lot of professional audio is, just on TV and stuff. Just the amount of hissing and noise and stuff that they leave in there.
Yeah. There's always some of that. You kind of can't avoid it. If you listen to, Foo Fighters records or whatever, if you have headphones on during the quiet parts, there's just going to be a bunch of hissing. Shit. I'm having a hard time with this huge controller after playing so much Breath of the Wild on that Switch, which we'll talk about momentarily.
At length.
But yeah. Message recorded. The 4 have traced our communications, and our base is under attack by their cyborg slaves who are immune to the ancient Svit virus. We're retreating deeper underground now. I had to remember what voice I was doing for Blake. Durandal suggested before his destruction that there were 2 more activation sites here. No one knows for certain what will happen when Thoth is activated, but if he does not help us, we are doomed, and you will be stuck here. Once again, good luck. You are our only hope. I think I read that one before, but...
Yog-Sothoth.
Who fucking cares? Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth.
Sabuth.
Cthulhu. Cthulhu Awaken, bro. Yeah, if you listen to Foo Fighters records and the quiet parts, there's just a significant amount. Goddamn, there's a significant amount of hissing.
Now you're down there.
Yep. Now I'm down here again.
Yeah, and it's mostly when it's something live or something like that that's really bad, because it's hard to do that on the fly.
Yeah, but you can also do it really well. If you listen to a Metallica concert, that sounds great compared to a lot of bands' concerts. It's weird.
Yeah.
It seems to be professional musicians who are good at that. Like Trent Reznor does one of the better concert productions I've seen. And that's just because he's an audio guy. He's the performer and the audio guy.
He also cares a lot.
Yeah. I feel like you have to give a shit. There's a bunch of bands that do not sound very good live, and that seems weird to me. There's 2 things about that. One is that it's weird to me that bands give poor performances live sometimes, because that's something that you can just control. You can just not be shitty. You can just not show up drunk or whatever, which is usually the problem that I've heard reported by those musicians. Chester Bennington from Linkin Park says that the reason that they were really bad for a while is because he used to just be wasted at every concert. And it's maybe when you're getting paid millions of dollars to go sing for somebody, maybe don't show up fucking drunk. You know what would happen to me if I showed up drunk for work? That's insane. It's madness that you were even allowed to do that.
Yeah, but he's still...
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If
And
you
remember
can do
that-
it and get away with it completely.
That Foo Fighters documentary about how like that's what they did on one tour because they were just so bored of touring or whatever
yeah.
that they had to just get sloshed to get through a set. It's just like,
Seems
man,
like you should tour less if that's
it seems
the
like you should
problem.
tour less, or maybe you should appreciate the things that you have in your life. You know, you're a goddamn rich ass professional musician. Like, why? Dave Grohl did not need to tour that much. Dave Grohl had been in Nirvana. You know what I mean? Like, Dave Grohl has had Nirvana money for his entire life since Nirvana. So there's no reason. It's not like they were struggling working musicians. They did that to themselves, and then they made a bad decision that like made their show worse.
They did it to feel something. Because if you stop, you might feel something.
Yeah.
Or
Whatever. And yeah, and the other thing about it is just like people argue that like the reason that live stuff sounds bad is because it's hard to make it sound good, or like the implication is that it's like impossible to make it sound good. That like sometimes you just wind up in a venue that just has shitty acoustics and the people who are setting up your shit didn't set it up right or whatever. But it's like Metallica sounds great at every concert. like maybe just like fucking get professional, dog. Just like get good at what you do, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder how much difference there is between performances that are like streamed live and performances that are just recorded at a live concert. Like, because I wonder how much like processing and stuff is done on, you know, how much mastering is done on a live record versus like a performance that's just streamed live. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of the noise you'll hear is like in not music, like just like live TV or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just fucking like hissing in the background all the time or whatever, and like newscasts and stuff. So I bet you can like do quite a bit to clean that shit up if you're mastering a live recorded record. So that probably affects it quite a bit too.
Yeah. But also there are some live records that sound terrible.
Yeah.
So like Is this one?
That is, yeah.
I got you fucker. Hate these dudes. Get out of my fucking face, you blue piece of shit.
Yes,
Good idea, Bungie. Like, give me a really tough to kill guy that I can only melee while I'm running out of oxygen. That's good game design.
He has a gnarly vagina mouth.
Yeah. So that wasn't
toothed.
anything.
A toothed vagina mouth.
Am I trying to like push a button somewhere? It seems like what I'd be trying to do.
It's usually what you're trying to do.
Was that? I mean, that might have been the terminal, right?
Maybe.
But like, I probably have to like push a button. Also,
Mebes.
I went this way.
There's still a place right up there you haven't
I haven't gone to.
gone to. Revealed.
I haven't absconded to that place yet. I guess I can just go back up top. I mean,
Big house.
they calls it that because it's dig. Dead.
DED.
That's my metal band name.
Dead.
That's my new metal band name.
Is one of the D's backwards?
I think the E is upside down. I think both of the D's are backwards and the E is upside
it
down.
a capital E? Because that's just the same thing, right?
What?
An E upside down is just an E. Like a capital E?
What are you? Oh, I mean, yes.
The E is upside down.
In a sans serif font, I guess. That's true. Yeah. So we got Nintendo Switches and Breath of the Wild, which might be the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
Other than Minecraft and Final
I'm
Fantasy
sure you
IX.
heard it on the internet.
Yeah.
But
It's really good,
consensus.
and the Switch is cool.
Switch is great.
God damn the way jumping physics works in this. Yeah, the Switch is really cool. I want to play that. I want to play everything on it. I want to keep playing a shit ton of Breath of the Wild, and I also want to like do
Get all
that
the things.
Shovel Knight and that Shovel Knight 2 and that, like, man, what if they made a
Iron
Pokemon
Setsuna.
for it? Iron
Yeah,
Setsuna.
I think that has been talked about, like some kind of something.
Because technically the Switch is a handheld.
Right.
Because they
Like, I
Game
think
Freak
they've-
said that they would never make a Pokemon game not for a handheld.
Right. I
the
think
Switch
it's
is-
like a definitive edition of
God damn it! I keep doing that. Ah!
Pokemon
Ah!
Hawaii.
Yeah.
What? Alola region. Pokemon Alola region.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Sun and Moon.
some kind of a definitive edition of that
Yeah.
or something.
That would be cool, but I want, like, you know what I want. These
You want a
the
Zelda?
Pokemon X and Y generation have been like almost what I want out of a Pokemon game. But what I want is that in 1080p with a free camera and like an open world. That's what I want out of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I want to run around an open
Basically,
world.
Breath of the
Pokemon.
Wild with Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, like, less traversal and more like
Less
turn-based combat
climbing.
and stuff. Huh?
Yeah. Less climbing.
Less climbing, yeah.
But yeah, it's great. I think your description of it as like The Witcher for kids, The Witcher 3 for kids.
Yeah. It's exactly The Witcher 3 for kids. It's like that level of attention to detail. Better game feel, honestly, than The Witcher
Yeah.
has ever had.
The systems are great. Like, they all work together really well, and
Yeah.
it makes every part of the game feel
In most
fun and
open world
important.
RPGs, there's a bunch of like redundant systems. You know, there's like
yeah.
in
There's just like
Skyrim, there's like food, crafting, and potions that you just find. So you only really need to do one of those, and food is useless. So you get to pick between potions and crafting potions.
Yeah, and there's like alchemy and shit. Like, so for a bunch of people, they just like run past all the flowers forever and don't pick them up. And food, nobody picks up food in Skyrim. It's just like objects. Like, it's just faff. It's just
Yeah.
meaningless, like filler stuff.
yeah,
But every single object you want
is
to pick
that?
up in that game,
yeah,
because
toads.
you heal with food, so you want to pick up.
Yeah, you heal significantly
and-
with food. In fact, that's the only way that you heal.
Yeah, so you want to forage and you want to hunt.
Yep.
So those systems are both fun because
Yep.
of that. Cooking is fun, which is what you do with the stuff you hunt and forage.
Yeah, to make it like give you even more HPs.
Yeah, which is just like a simple, like, you combine different things to make, you have different recipes to make different dishes, including dubious food.
Which is too gross to even look at.
Yeah, it's like the icon for it is just a pixelated blur. So cooking is fun. Hunting, foraging is fun. Mining is fun.
There we
Like-
go. That's it.
But
That was it.
mining is fun. You use the stuff you get from that. Like, you can sell them, and they're like the like gems you get out of rocks you blow up are worth a lot. And you also need a couple of those materials, I think, for certain crafting things. Picking up, like, all the loot is great. Like,
Yeah.
there's a ton of sick-ass swords and shit. And
Just
like,
let them duke it out.
the like chunks of dudes that fall off of them when they die are used for improving your gear and stuff.
Yep. Fucking flamethrower.